I'll always amuse myself at this stupid Western question that goes like, what was it first, the hen or the chicken or the egg, basically, because they say the egg. See, when you ask this question, you kind of indirectly or basically directly, you speak about yourself that your ignorance is over 9,000. See, how can you ask that first there was the chicken or the hen, see, or the hen or the egg? See, if you ask this question, it's the exact thing like asking, who was it first, you or your mom? Or let's say your parents, because technically you need both of them. You know, if either of them was not alive, you wouldn't be alive as well, right? So the point is, if you ask that question, see, think about this same question. Was it your parents first or was it you first, right? The reason why you're saying the hen or the egg is because people consume eggs, and in their ignorance, they wouldn't want to admit that that egg is technically life that they're taking when they're eating the egg, right? The nutrients within the egg, right? They are life support nutrients who can lead to the creation of a new life. But because people love being ignorant and separated from their emotions, they don't call that a chicken, right? Or a life in forming. They call it an egg, right? Because that's how, well, Western philosophy is, and even Western science is. They don't care about the chicken, they only care about the egg, right? Just when scientists look at a tree, they analyze all its details, they see that it is this, it is that, they can tell you all the possible things about everything that is physical. Funnily enough, they miss the life in that tree, just like science always seems to miss the life in humans, and it kind of treats humans generalistically as if humans are machines. Even a simple body like a machine, right? They're just a few pieces and a bit of coding, nothing more, nothing less. And even those things, the same machine you create by the same person, they can function a bit differently. If you take a biological being, be it a human body or any other body, for example, an animal, a bull, a chicken, or whatever, the complexity of life and its multiple of dimensions, that is always going to be far more complex. So when it comes to evolution, evolution will always lead to a certain new race, let's say. When a certain race appears, be it a cellular race or be it a multicellular or pluricellular race, the point is an individual, right, is reached. That individual is capable of species propagation. When it comes to single-celled organisms, right, you need to reach the certain level of, genetic evolution so that an individual is reached, right? You have bacteria, you have viruses, you have these individuals. If you don't have the individuals, they don't spread, they don't um, propagate the race, right? You don't have an individual, well, they don't spread their race. When it comes to more advanced beings, right, you have the right? You have the genders, so you need the two genders in order to have offspring. So the point is, you need the two individuals in this case, right? But still, you need the so-called parents. And once you have the parents, then you have the offspring. So as evolution went on, you reached a certain proto-hen, let's say, right? That which was, or any form of being that was beyond the hen, right? And in time it actually got to the level that we know a rooster and a hen are, right? The birds, I'm speaking, the individuals. And the point is very simple. They together make the egg, okay? But some people in their ignorance will say, yes, but they also hatched out of an egg. Well, you don't know how the proto-hen and the proto-rooster actually multiplied by. You never know, right? It can be all sorts of possibilities. Science can tell you some ideas, but no one has been there in the past to actually tell you, hey, things have been specifically like this, right? We only know that, science in a way is a philosophy, and, well, it has certain mathematical backing, but you can't have a machine tell you specifically how long ago it was that something happened, because machines will perceive time in a different way than you. You perceive the fastest aspect of time as being 1 second. Everything that is beyond 1 second, well, that is kind of too fast, right? If you go, let's say, something that is a half a second or a quarter of a second, that's already kind of hard to take into account, right? It is hard to notice. The smallest cycle we can perceive easily is that of 1 second. Then, well, with practice and the such, when it comes to boxing or martial arts, or let's say, I don't know, even video games, some people may go even beyond that, but to a certain extent that also implies intuition. Because you may not be able to simply react to something like, I don't know, a skill that activates in 3/4 or half a second, but you can simply use intuition, right? You can be intuitive about the moment when someone may cast something, and well, it's all about luck. Maybe they push their luck and they cast the skill later, it doesn't matter, but up to a second, that's kind of how fast we can perceive. Machines function in frames. A frame means a millisecond, and a machine can do one or two, probably a few things in a frame, depending on how complex the processes are. In each second, or aka 1,000 frames, the machine does certain calculations. The processor always has breaks in between each of the processes that it does, else it would simply burn itself. So the point is very simple. Machines perceive time differently. Even animals perceive time in a different way. But it doesn't simply matter because time flows for all of us. All I'm saying is this. You need an individual, or in the case of more complex species, you need the two individuals who will give you the child, right? The offspring. Just like cats, right? You can't say who was it first, the cub or the cat parents, right? The cat and the tomcat. See, because it is kind of ignorant. But welcome to the Western society. Here, science and everything that is nowadays, especially with the woke movement, science doesn't have any idea what it's talking about. It's spending billions of dollars on nonsense and how to kill you quicker, how to manipulate your mind quicker, and when it reaches a condition, when it reaches a conclusion, well, that conclusion is something that even our ancestors would say, right? Even ancient societies would say that, right? Some study ended up saying that, I don't know, if you do this, this will happen. But my grandmother knew that, and well, their forefathers also knew that, right? If you are from the Eastern Europe or certain countries in which, you know, our forefathers' wisdom is still kept to a certain extent, and you're not mentally demolished by corporatism and, you know, all the fakery of modern society, well, these things you may already know, right? Countries that have preserved some or a lot of the wisdom of our forefathers can easily tell you that a lot of these studies kind of don't do anything else than just blow money that could have been used more productively, and well, they end up with some conclusions that ancient societies always told you about, and it was a norm for them to a certain extent also. So this being said, hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness, you are appreciated, and well, in case you don't know whether you have reached the West or not, it is very easy. In the West, no one knows what they're talking about, but everyone knows everything. This is how I kind of see the West. No one has attention span, or very few people have an attention span that goes beyond several seconds. Everyone just wants quick answers and they just rush to reach nowhere. That's what Western society and kind of the whole world seems to become with, you know, excessive technologization or whatever you call it. This being said, feel free to view any other content on this channel. Take care, enjoy life, and well, I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to present your points of view in the comment section below. And this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.